that is solar on. You can see it's going straight through. AC out. AC is alternating current, which you're using in your home. You can see that there's a vertical arrow downwards, a red arrow that says DC charge or something like that. That is charging the battery because you are generating more power. Hey guys, welcome to AsherGad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Trust you're all doing well, wherever you are in the four corners of this earth, making gradual plans to transition from where you are back to the motherland, home, sweet home. Thank you guys. We've received so many emails recently. Of course, AsherGad consultancy is extremely busy, hence the reduction to the one video a week every Tuesday at 6 p.m. GMT. So tune in for that. Here we are again. Blessings, Thanksgiving, all to our PayPal family, Patreon family, and obviously to our subscribers who comment and send through all the emails that we receive. Now, this video is a response to the recent emails that we have been receiving, and really there's been a number of questions on solar. So today's video is really about, I'm going to cover a few solar basics. Now, especially right now here in Ghana, where the weather is a bit funny. If you look up the skies, it's nice, it's clear, but it's a bit cloudy. In fact, it's actually cold, you know, in relatively speaking. Okay, it's about 26-25 degrees, but it's relatively cold compared to what it normally is, scorching sun. Okay, so here we are, but I've had a few questions on solar. Number one, I've had,
hi guys.
God passing. They haven't seen you for ages, so yeah. Say something to them.
Hi guys, hope you're all doing great. We're having fun here. See, my okra is ready. I just can't wait to harvest them.
The okra is ready?
Yeah.
Well, look at the sweet corn. Have you guys seen sweet corn that tall before? I've never seen sweet corn this tall before in my entire life, but it's all good. And they're really growing fairly well. So hopefully, I think we've got about a month or so to harvest them. All right, anyway, let's get back on topic. And that is solar panels. So I had a few basic questions. Question number one was, how many panels do I need to get 5 kilowatts of power to support 5 kilowatts of power in my home? How many batteries do I need? Okay, what do I specify? Okay, what do I ask for? And finally, number three, people want to know, how does the SBU mode work? SBU means solar, battery, and utility. How does that work, and what's the best configuration? So let's take you through as we walk around this house. So now, solar panels. Okay, there are two main types of solar panels. There's actually three types, but I'm just going to focus on two. You either have the polycrystalline solar panels, okay, or the monocrystalline solar panels. Now, the key difference between them is that the polycrystalline is heavier. So therefore, if you're going to use polycrystalline, just make sure your structure of the roof has taken that into account. So the polycrystalline is heavier. It is less efficient than the monocrystalline, and therefore it is cheaper than the monocrystalline. All right. It is still effective. It still works. But, you know, if you want the best, then you want to look at the monocrystalline solar panels. Okay. Now, the monocrystalline solar panels are much more efficient. Okay. They're more efficient. They are lighter in terms of their weight. Okay. But obviously, those two factors make them more expensive. The difference in efficiency is probably not that great, but over time, that will count. That will definitely count. When I talk about efficiency, I'm talking about, you know, for the same amount of, let's say, sunshine in basic terms, for the same amount of sunshine or irradiance, as they call it, that is falling on the equivalent monocrystalline panel and polycrystalline panel, you'll get more power out of the monocrystalline panel. So that's what we mean by it being more efficient. Okay. All right. So now, so there are different wattages available. Of all the Many manufacturers I've spoken to in Ghana, they're typically, you have a panel that's about 330 watts or 400 watts or 250 watt panels, okay? So let's answer question number one. Question number one, how many panels do I need to give me the best chance of generating 5 kilowatts for my home? Okay, so now let's just make it simple. Let's use round numbers. So 5 kilowatts is 5,000 watts. Let's say we're going to use 400 watt solar panels. Now there's a number of factors that come into play, so I'm going to start basic ones. So 5,000 watts, I'm using 400 watt panels. 5,000 watts divided by 400 watts as per panel gives me 12.5, let's say 13 panels. So I need 13 400 watt panels to give me 5,000 watts, i.e. 5 kilowatts. However, it isn't that straightforward, guys. It is not that straightforward. Just because you have 5,000 watts worth of solar panels, that does not mean you are going to be able to generate 5 kilowatts worth of power into your home. Unfortunately, there are several factors that come into play that affect the output and the performance of your solar panels. Number one, for irradiance, okay? Irradiation. But in simple terms, let's just say the intensity of the sun. In simple terms, I'm not going to go too scientific. The intensity of the sun, the shade. Okay, so how the solar panels are installed. You know, it has to be installed by specialists. Make sure there's minimal shading, because obviously if you shade it, then you're shading the sun. Depending on where the solar panels are installed, near a wall, it needs to be installed to minimize shading. Here's a big one: cleanliness. Okay, cleanliness, especially if you live in an area like us, for example, developing area. You know, the roads are not tarred, so there's a bit of dust around. You know, the more dust is that is on your solar panels, then the less power it produces. Okay, so you need to keep them clean on a regular basis. Okay, another point is the orientation of the panels. Now the specialist will come along, understand where your house is, the cardinal points, north, south, east, west, and the rest of it, and they should tilt and orient the solar panels for maximum power generation. Okay, but that's a factor. Cloud cover. Now look at today. It is very cloudy today. Okay, very cloudy, and as I said in the beginning, it's a little bit cold. So today is a day where the cloud cover will affect the power that your solar system will generate. Okay, which is a factor as well. Now, the last factor I want to talk about is surface temperature. Okay, surface temperature. What I mean by that is the surface temperature of the panel itself. Obviously, in the blazing sun, you know, you may have 35 degrees Celsius as an air temperature, but that doesn't mean the surface of the panel is at the same temperature, because it's, you know, there's a metallic part, it's been heated over time, and the hotter the surface gets, again, the less power it generates. Okay, so the surface temperature is also a factor, and most solar panels really have been tested at, you know, to generate maximum peak power between about 15 to about 40 degrees Celsius surface temperature. Okay, that is what they have been tested at, and they call it STP, standard temperature, no, STC, standard temperature conditions, or something of that nature. Now, so all of these factors affect the amount of power you get. I say this because if you install those 13 400 watt panels, okay, which is about 5.2 kilowatts in terms of the panels, don't expect that you'll be generating 5.2 kilowatts in your home. Okay, from experience in our industry, I would suggest, to be on the safe side, assume that you would generate, let's say 65% on average, let's say 65% of your total, let's say, kilowatt panels that you've installed. So in this case, 65% of 5.2 kilowatts is, I'm just looking at my notes, 3.4 kilowatts. Okay, so if you have a load in your home of 3.4 kilowatts or less, then you're good to go. You are good to go in this example. If you want to almost guarantee or give yourself the best chance of actually generating the 5,000 watts or the 5 kilowatts, then you need to take into account the 65% factor. All right, I'm just turning my notes here. So got the number right. So as I was saying, if you want to, I don't want to use I don't want to use the word guarantee, but if you want to give yourself the best chance of generating 5 kilowatts into your home, then you need to take into account that 65% efficiency, or that 65% maximum power you can get out, and therefore you would need to install about 8 kilowatts worth of panels. And remember, if I'm using the same wattage of panels, if I'm using 400 watt panels, then 8,000 watts divided by 400 is 20 panels. So instead of having the 13 panels as I had in the beginning, okay, which would only give me 3.4 kilowatts because of the losses, let's say, or the inefficiency of the system, I want 5 kilowatts. I need to install 8 kilowatts worth of panels to give me the best chance of generating that 5 kilowatts as we want. All right, so second question is, how much power do I need? So how much power do I need for my home? So now, let's say you have a solar system that is obviously, working during the day. The solar panels are giving you the power during the day from the sun, and in the night, that's when you're going to use your batteries because you've stored energy in your batteries. Now, for example, let's use simple numbers. Let's say at nighttime you have a load in your home of 500 watts, okay? And that's not going to be many items switched on because you're generally asleep. So you probably have, obviously, your fridge and freezers will be on. You'd have some lighting on, maybe some external lighting on. You have your security system on. What else would you typically have on? If you've got an electric car, you have on, but let's take that out for now. You'd have maybe ceiling fans on. For those who sleep with ceiling fans, obviously, if you've got air conditioning on, that's a big factor, which you most likely will not have on a battery because that's going to be, unless obviously your pockets are very deep. So let's just do the example where you've got ceiling fans, a bit of lighting, security system, and fridge freezers. So let's say you've got 500 watts in the evening in your home when you're sleeping. So now, if you want your batteries to have enough power to sustain or to support that 500 watts for, let's say, 8 hours of the night, that means you need 500 times 8, which is 4,000 watt hours. Yeah, for your battery. The batteries are specified in terms of the energy, which is watt hours. So your load times the number of hours you want gives you the watt hours. In this case, 4,000 watt hours or 4 kilowatt hours would be the battery specification that you need. Now, typically, you would see specifications that would tell you the voltage and the amp hours of the battery. So, for example, I remember I reviewed a quote for one of our clients just to help him out, and I think in the quotation they had 48 volt lithium ion battery, which is the best battery to get, okay, at 120 amp hours. So if you want to know the watt hours, all you have to do is multiply the two numbers together, generally speaking, yeah? So 48 times 120 watt hours, I'm just looking at my book, that gives you 5,760 watt hours. So what is that? 5.76 kilowatt hours. And there you go. That is your battery specification. So again, if you have a battery that's 5.76 kilowatt hours and you have a nighttime load of 500 watts, then what that means is you just divide 5,760 by 500 and you get approximately 10 to 11, let's say 11 to almost 12 hours on that battery when it's fully charged. Okay, and obviously if you want more, then you just have to add more batteries. But obviously the batteries have a significant cost. That's probably that's typically a major cost item. So the more load you have, or the more power you want to last longer, you add more batteries, you add more cost. So there you go. Okay, remember, lithium ion batteries, I suggest, would be the best in terms of the solar system. There are other type of batteries like gel batteries, VRLA, and the rest of it. Maybe I'll cover that in a separate video, but lithium ion would be the best in terms of the various factors. Now, the last item I want to cover before is somebody asked me about the SBU mode, because I've referred to it a number of times, and that is really the mode of operation of a solar system that I would recommend. That means, and SBU means solar battery utility. So all it means is that, okay, guys, picture on your screen, okay, Now, what that means is, during the day, your solar system will be powering your home. Okay. Now, if the solar system is generating the energy from the sun, is generating more energy than you need for your home. Let's say the solar system is generating 5 kilowatts, but at that point in time, your home is only using 2 kilowatts. Okay. The solar system will support your home, and the extra 3 kilowatts will go towards charging the battery. So you can see the diagram on your screen. Just follow the red arrow. Okay, that is solar on. You can see it's going straight through. AC out. AC is alternating current, which you're using in your home. You can see that there's a vertical arrow downwards, red arrow that says DC charge or something like that. That is charging the battery because you are generating more power than you need for your home. Solar. Solar mode. Now, if you're in a scenario where you, for example, today is such a cloudy day, yeah, and you are not generating enough power for your home. Let's say you're generating just about what you need for your home. That's fine. The solar will support your home. But in a scenario where you're not generating enough power from the sun because of all this cloud cover, guess what happens? The system will switch to battery because you've stored energy in your battery, and then therefore the battery will take over and support your load. All right. So that's the other image you're seeing in your screen. You're seeing the battery DC out and then AC out. So your house is being powered by your battery. Okay, this can happen during the daytime when it's clouded over, etc. That's why you take all this into account to determine the number of batteries that you want. Okay, I talked about the nighttime example, but obviously in a daytime example where it's clouded over, the more batteries you have, the longer it will support your home for during the day. Now, obviously, as the battery is used, it depletes. At some point, the battery will lose its charge. Okay, and then SBU, S is gone, B is gone. Look at the diagram on your screen. Then U takes over. U means utility. In Ghana, that means ECG. Now, this configuration is for me is really, really good. What happens is ECG supports your home, okay, on utility. And at the same time, if you look at the diagram on your screen, follow the red arrows, at the same time, it charges your battery, okay? So you have ECG, which is obviously the most expensive of all of them. Well, the solar and batteries are ultimately free because of the energy of the sun. So the ECG is what you're paying for. So that is the least favored economic source. Supplying your home, charging your batteries at the same time, so that when the batteries become fully charged, guess what? We go back to the battery mode, yeah, or we go back to the battery mode in this example. Okay, SBU. That's how it works. That is the principle. Very straightforward, and I suggest if you're going to go for a solar system that you go for the SBU mode. Okay, you need a solar inverter. Okay, as a diagram on your screen, just show the supplier this is what you're looking for. Show them this video, and then they should be able to sort you out. All right. Now, that is really, really awesome. Just check my notes to see if there's anything else I've missed, and I think that's pretty much it, really. Let me pass this amazing stack of corn. Chris, I don't think the corn is ready yet. All right, let's go and see. Let's go. Oh, guys, have a look. This is first corn harvest, which is awesome, absolutely awesome. In fact, I think some of them have stayed a bit too long because we were not sure they were ready. But yes, absolutely great. If you come and pull back, let me see the nature of the corn in there. I think we had two species, didn't we, Chris? We had a white and yellow. This one seems a bit multicolored there. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That one's a bit multicolored. Is it white or is it yellow? It's mixture.
It's a mixture.
Mixture. Okay.
I think that's
because we mixed the seeds, didn't we, when we were planting?
I don't know if mixing the seeds will result to that. I don't know.
But anyway, that's good. So you look forward to boiling them, roasting them, using them for porridge, or what they call it, akamu, or cocoa de dede in Ghana. Cocoa de dede, yeah. Are you looking to build your dream home in Ghana, or are you building already? Would you benefit from regular site visits to monitor your building and receive regular progress reports? Well, if that's the case, and that's you, look no further. AsherGad Consultancy at your service. We offer the following services: electrical design, construction monitoring inspections, site progress reports, consultation for all items MEP, witnessing of testing and commissioning, periodic snagging, vetting of specialist subcontractors. We also report site activities to you to hopefully help you spend your money efficiently and much, much more. Get in contact for your building needs. Details on the screen. AsherGad Consultancy, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is really solar basics. I hope that I've answered the questions. I think I've answered all the questions I've had on email. Very, very high level solar basics. Hope you enjoyed that. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you always be aware when AsherGad upload a new video for your educational and viewing pleasure. All right. So, guys, thanks a lot. And so from Gad is Kemesia, and for me, guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.